So if I understand right, it is for you the most distant relation to a person if you become neutral. Then you have no attachment against and no aversion.
No attachment, no aversion.
And how do you live this no attachment, no aversion? Most human beings have much of attachment, much of aversion. And you try to keep it in a measure. How do you practice this?
Our goal is to achieve peace and to experience peace. And you might have experienced that where there is attachment and aversion, people cannot experience that peace. So we try to become more and more detached. It is our goal to become detached from people as well as from material world. Because the material world and the attachment towards people both creates feeling of misery. And
when they detest.
Once you have attachment, and if you get detached from those material things and from those people to whom you are attached, then definitely it will make you miserable. So we try to avoid that attachment and aversion. Definitely it creates misery. So we are free. We try to make ourselves free from attachment and aversion both.
And this attachment and detachment, we realize due to one principle that soul always alone. Soul is always alone. It comes alone, it goes alone, and it bears its fruit of karmas alone. So just when we are in worldly life, we need to behave with all, we need to treat with all, but innerly we understand the soul is alone and we should not feel too much attachment or aversion with anybody.
She explained 4 reflections. You have heard about 4 reflections from her. One of them is the first reflection. One of them is Anitya Bhavana, which we say the reflection of transitoriness. In this world, everything, all material things are transitory. So we should not be attached towards transitory things,
so also
momentary things.
I understand. Also, body is transitory?
Definitely. Body is also transitory.
So
it is not eternal. Your soul is eternal.
No attachment to own body and no attachment to other person. But what about love? People say, what about love?
Again, I am coming on my universal friendliness. Love is not only that you love to some people and you don't love to some people. That is not love. That is selfishness, according to our views. Love means you have universal friendliness towards all living being. If you have friendliness, that is the love.
If you have love for a particular person, then that is not love. You have to extend that love towards all. Then that is the real love and real compassion, real friendliness.
So you mean love is a selfish feeling, love to a certain person? It is, in which way it is a selfish feeling? For example, a mother wants to have her children near to her, and she says it is out of pure love that I want my children near. And if I understand right, please correct me, you say this is selfish of her.
In pragmatic life, this love is also necessary. But definitely we will say that this is a selfish love because she has that kind of love for her own child, not for others. So it is a selfish love, but we need that kind of love also. In society, in pragmatic life, we see that without this kind of love also, relations cannot be maintained. And we want to maintain the relation, then we need this love also.
So perhaps you mean, if I love my child, I should love a baby in African bush as much as I love my child?
If you want to cultivate the quality of universal love inside you, you need to do this. The same love for all child.
So not only my child, but all children of the world, and not only feeding my child, but
All.
All.
Towards soul.
this is universal friendliness and universal love.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I see. And you talked of ahimsa.
Yeah.
What has ahimsa to do with universal friendliness and universal love and detachment?
Yeah, I would like to make clear the meaning of ahimsa, the actual meaning of ahimsa. Mostly people do the meaning of ahimsa means not hinsa. Hinsa, ahimsa, two words. Hinsa means violence and ahimsa means non-violence. Where there is no hinsa, no violence, people consider that is ahimsa, that is non-violence. But non-violence has its very, very broad meaning, and that is not only not to kill, not to hurt, but reverence for all lives. That is ahimsa. And friendliness, forgiveness, compassion, tolerance, these all are the forms of ahimsa. And we can practice ahimsa, practicing friendliness, practicing forgiveness, practicing compassion, practicing tolerance, etc.
These all are the positive forms of ahimsa. When we say not to kill, some people say it's a negative definition. It's a negative definition, but when we talk about the positive aspect and positive forms of non-violence, then these are the positive forms of non-violence.